Ugh. Bad graphic glitches. Good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. Why does that say I have large weeds? They're dead. That's good. I guess I didn't spray this corner. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. It is me, Osa, on Farming Simulator 22 on Maypole Farm. And just as a quick demonstration, I have sprayed the weeds on this field. I guess we can walk down to the farm. And what do we have here? Oats. So this is our oat field, and it's doing mightily well. Well, as well as can be expected. It's December 1, and so we're kind of heading into winter, deeply into winter, and we're expecting snow later today. I haven't looked at how close of a load of snow we have. We have tomatoes. So yeah, end of last week we had a ton of silage bales, which I sold. Actually, okay, snow's not happening till nightfall, so that's a good thing. If we look at yesterday, we sold 24,000 litres, or 24,000 pounds of, that would be sugar beets, which we did a contract on. 30,000 pounds worth of milk. Hold on, sold products. Oh no, that would be bread and flour. 26,900 would be the sugar beets, and possibly even the other stuff we did. We did two contracts, 44,000. We also sold bales. Maybe the 24,000 was the bales? No. Sold bales, there we go. 118,000 pounds worth of silage bales. So I bought some land. I bought a new vehicle. Guess we're going to have to go and explore where we got that from. We paid for some water, and we got 6,700 miscellaneous income. You will note I do not have a loan balance anymore. We still have 98,000 on the board. I have bought field 54 because it was awesomely cheap. 33% off. It's actually about 35% off because it's 33% me selling it. I was looking at 60, but it's plus 16%, and the field is 2.84 versus 3.87. 3.87, really good dirt, whereas this one is okay dirt, 99% yield, a bit smaller, and this one costs 100,000 and that one cost me not a lot less. I think I bought it for about 72, 73, so that's a good deal. I decided that was a better one. I also bought this one, also at a discount, 13,000. It has trees on it, so we can cut down some trees. Now, the problem I have is this field is covered in weeds and covered in rocks. So I'm doing my little rock picking thing down here. You can see we've got a couple of tractors there, and we'll get that sorted later. That field is now brown and blotchy because we did the spot and spray. This field we haven't touched yet. That field, that field has been cultivated. So that's a thing. we have to deal with. So it's December, I can't plant anything. This, we paid for an upgrade. It has the spot and spray sensors installed. So now we can do spot and spray, or spot spray weeds and all fun things like that. Our cows are looking awesome. I think they're doing fine. Haven't checked them yet today that I'm aware of. Oh, we have 10 more. So we have super babies and not quite so much babies, and then many adults. So a couple of more months and we'll have another 15. Food, we got 517. In order to push this field's environmental score back up to full, I limed it, I sprayed it, and then I cut it and baled it, dropped the bales straight into the cowshed as feed. You have to condition the bales, or condition the grass when you cut it. Captain Zane, good morning. I'm doing fine. Although we are about to set out into world of laboriousness, I did start this field with the Massey Ferguson. Unfortunately, Massey Fergusons are small, and the loader arms don't really reach up to the edge of that trailer. Now, the advantage with the Massey Ferguson is it has normal wheels, so it actually runs over the things, the weeds, and kills them. This thing has narrow wheels and has since we bought it, because I'm using it to spray fields and what have you. Okay, looks like we got up to -9. Now the other advantage with this one is it has, oh actually we got up to -8 before I noticed it was actually full and wasn't picking anything up, so we'll try that again. Yeah, the advantage with using this tractor is because it has GPS, I can keep the line straight and generally collect all the rocks. This bucket is my preferred method of picking up rocks. It only has a 650 litre capacity, but you can bring a huge cart onto the field to haul away all your rocks, so that's a kind of useful thing. In addition, you can lift it high enough to empty into the cart, so it doesn't really matter that it only has a 650 capacity, because you just run over and empty it every time it's full. It does, however, not have a speed limiter, so we can race through the field at 50 miles an hour or 40 miles an hour, whatever the tractor's capable of, just scooping up the rocks. The only problem is you have to make sure that you have the bucket low enough to scoop, not too low that the steering doesn't work, and not too angled such that the let's try forwards. Not too angled that the rocks come out as you're driving, because all of those things are kind of bad. But currently, temperatures have been over freezing. I think I'm playing in Celsius. Yeah, so temperatures have been over freezing. So the ground's not frozen. So we're fine to do some groundwork on this field should we so choose. I was unable to determine what the last thing in this field was though. So I might need to jump out and take a look at that. There's just no information there. So I think on that basis I can plant anything in here and not worry too much about the crop rotation. I am on my second cup of tea this morning. Yay. And that's the thing, because we're now in not daylight savings, I'm suffering a bit from jet lag because the time changed. So I'm waking up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So I've been up quite some time. However, her whiffle. Mrs. Osa had to go and clean the church, and since teenage Osa has a thing at church, they had to leave at 8:30 this morning. So I had consideration of starting this around about 8, but I decided I'll wait till they leave. All right. I don't know how much we've got in the trailer at the moment. Potentially this field is small enough that we may fit all of the rocks on it, in it. All of the rocks on the field in the trailer. However, I don't know if the trailer has the weight capacity to carry its volume in rocks. Okay, where am I up to again? -4. So the number I'm referring to is to the right of the GPS, the speedometer and the maintenance bar. Right at the top there is the guidance steering GPS satellite tracking thing. I think I need to do -11 first. And what that's telling me is I am 11 rows to the right of where I set GPS as the primary row 0. So all I have to do is to keep track of which row I am on in order to make sure I'm covering all the field. So we just done -11, next one will be -12, etc, etc. Whee! It's also useful if you're doing a harvester by islands. You can basically say I want to do 6 rows per island, so I'll move 3 or 4 in and cut in at that point, and it keeps your rows uniform, or your blocks uniform. Now I've had to remove courseplay. It bugged out on me this morning. I think that's due to Giant's latest patch and the version of courseplay I have not playing in the same sandpit. So it's entirely possible I could possibly do this with a courseplay worker, although because of the capacity of the bucket, we kind of have to. I don't know. I don't think I have the bucket low enough. As I said, also as the bucket gets heavier, the GPS following can, or basically the steering wheels can get lifted, and so the GPS following can get a little bit messy. Again, missed a little bit there. And of course the problem with rocks is they do damage your equipment. So ideally I do want to get all of them, and it's very difficult with weeds because short of looking straight above, I can't tell where rocks are as we're driving forward. I suppose I can see what we miss behind the tractor. Now we're having problems running speed because the bucket's digging into the ground. Let's see. So you want the bucket. It's a big. It's kind of a big fight there because I want the bucket low enough that it's 14. That it's collecting the rocks, but I also want it high enough that it's not impeding my steering. And of course the problem with the rock collectors in game, no, that's not low enough, and no, I'm on the wrong row. So I did want minus 14. But yeah, the problem with the rock collectors is they don't have a very large capacity, and I would still need this bucket and a tractor to shovel them into the big cart to save from me having to go halfway across the map to empty them all the time. It's probably the worst. Not the worst. My least favourite mechanic of Farming Simulator 22 is dealing with rocks. And of course, one of the reasons I wanted to do this with the Massey was we could put some slurry down on this field. I think for that I do need the Deutz or the John Deere. Minus 15, go. As I said, our trailer, we need the arm length of the Deutz. The Massey just doesn't have the reach. It can just clear the trailer, but only if you are lined up on it and the ground is perfectly flat. Anything else, and we must be full. Indeed we are. Okay, we were on 15. Whereas the Deutz does have very long arms and a very good reach. Also, doing this means I'm not looking way out across the map and seeing all the flickering autumnal tree colours. Okay, 15. So what's been going on this week, I guess? I think Millennial Farmer finished his eldest daughter was learning how to drive the grain cart, while his son was finishing the harvest. So at least he's got, what's that, 7th generation? Yeah, there is that. I suppose. I mean, I could. The thing that gets me is the capacity of the rock pickers, and short of just dumping the rocks on the side of the field, to deal with later. There's no real easy way of doing this with a worker. Okay, what are we up to? Are we on 16 or 17? I forget. Let's do 17. No, let's do 16. And the bucket's too low, so it can't steer. Okay. I mean, I know there are some cheaty rock pickers which have sort of 50,000 litres of capacity that you could just set a worker off on. But, you know, aside from having a lime station to turn the rocks into, they're really not, there's no real incentive to sell them. So, you know, they really are a money sink. You don't make the money back on leasing the equipment. So I think the best way to do it is buy used rock pickers and use them as and when needed. And we haven't had one come up yet, so not a thing. That said, I haven't looked. There's the huge Load King. There's a thing. There's another thing. Oh, there's an axial flow 7150. That's a big giant case harvester. 155,000. Money I don't currently have. I can't remember what we had came up last month, but there was a big harvester and I was humming and hawing about it. And eventually just decided, well, yes, it would be nice to have one, but I need more fields to justify having one. Now we have more fields. There we go, racing off all over the place because which freaking line have we been down? We've been down the one on the right, so we'll go down the one on the left, that one. So TV-wise, I watched the latest episode of Andor. I am liking that series. It's definitely got the story. At times, it's a little bit slow, but even then, it's still moving the story along. So I'm not entirely against how they're doing it. It's just, you could tell a lot more of a story in the time they've allotted themselves. But I think, you know, for the most part, it's definitely, there's enough there to say, oh yeah, this is good. I may cut across the top for another row. Give me a little bit more turnaround. The thing is, back where we were, back in that corner, because of the slope of the field, we can keep yeah, the turnaround's a little bit easier. Here, not so much. Okay, I believe that this here, this one, yes, you're the next row. The ideal, no, I don't have a preference, and in general for this series I'm not trying to make, you know, a massey farm, a Fent farm, whatever, a class farm. I'm generally splitting out the equipment we use, and to be fair, for this series, again, I've used apart from the Massey Ferguson, I think, we are using a lot of equipment that I don't usually feature. I don't think on a Saturday series I've ever had a John Deere, and I've definitely never had a Deutz on the Saturday series. We have had the Massey Ferguson 5S, and we did start with a 7S, or was it a 6S? But I decided that due to my personal play with Farm Sim 22, I was using the 6S way too frequently, and that maybe I should feature some other piece of equipment instead. Okay, gonna go down this row. I'm gonna need to adjust the bucket again, because but I do, and you know, I like sort of switching around and using different stuff. I think